Morning. Morning.
Morning.
Is that you, Alice? How are you? Is that Alice or Margot?
Margot.
Hi, Margot. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday to you. What does this Good Friday look like for you today?
Beautiful.
Oh. Have plans today to do outside? I know it's a little chilly.
Well, it keeps bugs down.
Yes, yes. True. Hi, Carol. Good morning. Carol, can you hear me? Hi, Carrie. Good morning.
Good morning. I hope my reception works. You know, we were doing FaceTime last night, and I think there's something wrong with my router.
Uh-oh. Can you do it from the phone and try with like wireless or?
I don't know. I haven't tried that.
Okay, Carol, I can do, and you can't hear me. One of the things that I noticed there is, there is an ability for you to turn off video, and there is also an ability for you to turn off. So I'm not mute. Let me see if I can pull the app on my phone. Good morning, Sally.
Hi, Tracy.
Eight two one 325. I'm joining from my phone, and it's going to be weird a second. Okay. So, Carol, found. Okay. Let me see if I can see what you would see. On the bottom left of my screen, as a participant, I see a set of headphones. That headphones join audio. I'm going to text it. The other thing that you do is that if you're doing this from, I noticed, learned this like the hard way. You can have your sidebar turned off or your volume off, and it works for you to hear sound until you turn it on. Okay. And also, too, if you need to come out of the meeting and go back in, that might be an option. You can also call in from a different device when you're looking at the video so you can hear the audio.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to log out my phone so we can get. Okay, ladies, I hope you guys are doing wonderful on this Good Friday. We're going to do a gentle flow for mute you on my side, and then when we're done with the meeting, I will do so that we, before we say. right. So we'll find our way down to our mat. And we are going to start in seated. So I'll have you come into cross-legged seated pose. And we'll sit tall on our spine. If you notice that your back is kind of slouching, start to move any flesh away from your sits bones and allow yourself to sit right back down so you can feel your sitting bones. We're going to use Gayana Mudra today. Thumb and index finger coming together allows us to connect to a de-stressed breath. And we'll allow ourselves to quiet the mind by closing the eyes and focusing inward this morning. Letting the eyes become soft, drawing the chin slightly down towards the mat. Lengthening through the crown of the head, sitting tall on your spine. Starting to breathe down into the navel as you expand your lower, middle, and upper abdominals with air. We'll expand through the side ribs and lungs. And when you reach the top of your breath, allowing yourself to contract, compress, letting go of any stale air, releasing anything that no longer serves you on this Good Friday, letting go of any disruptive thoughts, any holding in your breath. We're going to let that go and come into a rhythmic circular breath. As we inhale through both nostrils, we'll fill the lower, middle, and upper abdominals with air. We'll continue to fill through the side ribs and lungs. And when we reach the top of our breath, we'll exhale fully and completely, letting go again. Anticipating the inhalation flowing back into your body. Continuing to fill your belly with air and allowing your breath to be free, have freedom from holding and jerking. We want to make sure that the breath is equal, an in-breath and out-breath. The force of our breath through our nostrils is equal, smooth, even, deep, and without pause. We'll allow that inhale to flow into the exhale with that same length, strength, and force. Staying here for a few breaths. When you're ready, we'll bring our hands into our heart. Bowing to ourselves in our practice. Today we set an intention, something to amplify or manifest in our life right now. Something that we can come back to when our minds begin to wander in our day, our practice. Something we can use both on and off our mats today. Surrendering to that intention. Continuing to focus on your steady, smooth breath. And we'll use our yoga today to reflect on what we might be grateful for in our lives. Finding peace and acceptance today in all that we are and all that we do. We'll inhale, bring the arms up the center of our body, extending those arms up and overhead, maybe centering the heels of your hands above your crown. Taking a breath in and extending and lengthening the arms to where your ceiling and wall meet, opening your heart as you lift your chest. Exhale, we'll let the hands come alongside the hips, drawing the shoulders up, back, and down your spine. We'll let the left hand come to our left knee, and we'll use our right hand for alternate nostril breathing this morning. We're going to use our right thumb and our right fourth finger, And we'll start our sequence today where we start to exhale out of our left nostril, blocking our right. Inhaling through our left. Exhaling left. Inhaling left. Exhaling left. Inhaling left. And using our fourth finger of our right hand to block our left nostril, we'll exhale right. Inhaling right. We'll exhale out of that right nostril. Inhaling right. And exhaling right. Inhaling right. Blocking our right nostril with our right thumb and exhaling left. Inhaling left. Exhaling. Inhaling left. And exhaling left. Inhaling left. And exhaling out of our right nostril. Inhaling right. And exhaling right. Inhaling right. And exhaling right. Inhaling right. And we'll drop that right hand back down to our knees and we'll exhale out of the left nostril with our hands not touching our face. Just imagining as you take the next inhale in through the body, you're allowing that inhale to come through the left nostril only. Drawing it up to the space between your eyebrows and exhaling back down the left channel. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling one more time on the left and exhaling down your right channel, your right nostril. Just noticing if you can tell if you're breathing through one side or the other. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling back up to that space between your eyebrows. And exhaling again. And inhaling one more time up to the space between your eyebrows. And exhaling through both nostrils down to your navel center. Just noticing as your breath comes into the body. You'll take the breath from the navel to the nostrils and from the nostrils to the navel 6 times. So we start our practices of yoga with centering and breathing, but oftentimes we don't talk about pranayama, which is what your alternate nostril breathing is. And this breath is really good for us to do at 3 different times of the day. We're doing this to start to balance the central channel. And that central channel is from the crown of our head to the root of our body. The end of each exhale, we choose to breathe in that pleasant inhalation. And the duration of our inhale and exhale can continue to be the same length. We do this so that we can breathe freely and think freely, and that we have freedom from stress in the day. Allowing yourself to return to your normal, regular breathing now. Just kind of asking yourself and checking in with yourself how you feel after doing a couple of rounds of alternate nostril breathing. We'll bring our hands to the heart center and we'll extend and lengthen the arms up the center of the body. Exhale, plant the hands alongside your hips. We'll bring the fingertips pointing away from us. As we do, we'll plant the right arm down, left arm reaches. This is our lateral side body stretch. We're opening up the side rib cage, stretching the space between the ribs, rolling the belly up towards the sky. Honoring where you are in your life and your practice today by choosing whether or not you come down to the palm, the forearm, or the side of the arm. Inhale as you come back and up. Exhale, lower, planting that left hand alongside your hip. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. One arm reaches, drawing that arm over your ear, rotating your belly up towards the sky. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll let the arm come alongside the hips, and we'll bring both arms back together overhead. Coming into a chest expansion here, we'll bring the hands down into the heart center, firmly pressing your fingers together. Spreading all 10 fingers wide, we'll point the fingertips away from us towards the front edge of our mat. Rounding through our spine, tucking our chin towards our chest. Reaching the arms out parallel to our ears. Opening the heart to the center of our room. Exhale as we draw the elbows down towards the hips. And we're doing this to stretch the sides and the back of the neck. So you might notice even a little bit of a stretch in your shoulders. Excellent. Inhale as you reach up. And excellent. Let the hands come alongside your hips. We're going to come into the Lord of Fishes. So we're going to draw the right knee over the left and start to draw the left heel towards your right glute. We're going to create a lasso, drawing that right leg into the body and hugging the right knee into the left elbow crease. As we spin around to the right, we'll plant the right fingertips behind us, pressing the right big toe down into the earth. You might notice it feels good for you to maybe bring that left arm to the outside of the right leg. Maybe you just like to keep it close to the body. Choosing the option in your body and your practice. Squeezing everything towards the midline. Keep spinning and gazing over that right shoulder. And working to send your gaze up and back. We'll take 3 breaths in our twist. Inhaling and exhaling, we'll come back around and we'll uncross the legs and use windshield wipers here as we drop the knees to one side and the other, just loosening up the hips a little bit in our practice this morning. We'll sit tall on our spine, this time drawing the left leg over the right, stamping the left big toe down into the mat, and creating the lasso with your hands as you draw the left leg into the chest. That right heel is coming towards the left glute. Breathe into your body, lengthening through the crown, spiraling around to the left, planting your left hand behind your seat. Continuing to lengthen through that crown. Breathing here. Now notice what happens in your practice as you drop the outside of that right knee down to the mat. Is that available to you? Continuing to spin towards the left and breathe. Letting the inhale come first and allowing the exhale to follow. Exhale as you come back around to the middle, and we'll go ahead and again come back into our windshield wiper legs. Sitting tall on your spine, we'll draw the legs into cow's face. So we're stacking the knees, heel toe the heels away from you so that they're parallel, and sit in between your heels with your hips. So one of the things that we have discovered in yoga is that all of our anatomy is very, very different. If this does not feel good in your body, we'll do it one-legged. That way we'll extend the right leg in front of us And we'll inhale, open the arms out into a giant T, like you're gonna give yourself a giant hug. Breathing here into the body. We're gonna bring the right arm on top. We're hugging the shoulders. And we're gonna come into eagle arms to start. For eagle arms, we're gonna have the elbows parallel to the shoulders. Breathing into the body. And if it feels good in your practice, you can bow forward, rounding through your spine. Inhaling as you lift your elbows now. We'll go ahead and uncross. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back into the T with the arms. This time the right arm is gonna bend behind you. Left arm is gonna reach up. And we'll plant the left hand in between our shoulder blades. Like we imagine as though you have an imaginary strap here. Some of you might be able to gather your shirt or just let your hands drift towards one another, towards the midline of your body. Sometimes the fingertips will touch, sometimes we can fully clasp. Be mindful not to let your head be pushed forward. We're still sitting tall on the spine. Draw that left elbow away from you. Lengthening through the back of the neck and the head. Inhale prepares our body. Our exhale helps us come out of the pose. We're gonna go ahead and draw the right arm down, bend the left. And we're gonna widen our stance now so that we come into a wide-legged stance. So we're gonna kind of move into that wide-legged straddle or seated forward bend. Sitting tall on your spine, begin to hinge forward and down from your hips, starting to stretch the inner thighs, starting to feel the adductors stretch a little bit as the feet are flexed. You can reach towards your toes if you want. And if you feel fairly flexible in your hips this morning, you can let your torso become parallel with the mat or the floor space in front of you. If your hands are not reaching your toes, let your hands rest on your knees or your shins gently as you forward bend from your hips. No extreme pressure pressing the legs down back towards the mat. Just let them gently slide down towards the mat on your own. Inhaling now, pressing into the shin bones or gently lifting the torso. We'll go ahead and come back into our cow's face legs. We're going to cross the opposite leg on top. So I believe now the right leg comes on top. I'm going to heel toe the feet out to the side so that the hips are centered and we're sitting in between those heels. So if our right leg is on top, the left arm is going to come on top. Give yourself a giant hug. Eagle arms. Letting those elbows be parallel to your shoulders. We're working to draw the hands together. That doesn't necessarily mean that the hands are going to be touching. Sometimes we're just touching our wrists. You can maybe drawing the chin towards the chest, rounding through the spine. Coming into a forward bend. We'll inhale and lift ourselves back up. Let the arms come into a T. Breathing into your body. Flexing through those wrists, circling your wrist here if that feels good for you in your practice. We'll go ahead and lift the right arm up, left arm behind. Bending at both elbows, working to clasp the hands or rest them between the shoulder blades. Honoring your own practice, if you are clasping your fingers or your palms together, you're pulling away in two different directions. Feet are flexed. Breathing into your body. When your body is ready to release, you can release the clasp and let the hands come alongside the hips, widening the knees again, scooting forward as you fold forward and down from your hips. Coming back into that wide leg straddle. Inhaling now to lift your torso. Exhale, holding on underneath the knees, crossing at the ankles, and start to draw your body forward as you come into all fours. We're coming into tabletop pose. And for our tabletop pose, we're gonna move into cat-cow. Bringing the hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. You can keep your feet flat or tuck your toes under. Exhale as you begin to round through your spine. Inhaling as you start to arch the spine, lift the head. Draw your gaze up to the space between your eyebrows. Exhaling again, rounding through your spine. And inhale as the belly begins to drop, arching your spine and lifting your head. Send the gaze up to the space between your eyebrows. And you'll follow your own breath now for another 6 or 7 rotations. Breathing and moving. Linking breath with movement, movement with breath. We'll widen the knees now and come into a neutral spine and allow the hips to sink back towards the heels. Coming into child's pose, balasana. Pressing those hips between your heels, making sure there's enough space for your torso as you bring your forehead down to the mat. Start to feel your shoulders rolling away from your ears. Sinking your hips towards your heels. Our child's pose connects us to the earth. Helps us feel grounded in the root of our being. Creates a sense of safety and security. Noticing how you feel as your hips are sinking back towards your heels. Some people might like to bring movement in their hips, moving from side to side. And we'll allow ourselves to clasp the hands now, drawing the arms to the lumbar spine. And as we clasp the palms on the lumbar spine, we can move into Yoga Mudrasana. So we will rise up to our knees, our shins. Our hands can stay at the lumbar spine, or we can begin to extend the knuckles up towards the sky. We're putting a little bit of pressure on the crown of our head, the soft spot of our crown. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. And if you tend to have issues with your cervical spine, let yourself stay in child's pose and work on stretching your shoulders. Palms are going to press together, and we'll draw those knuckles up towards the sky. Breathing into your body, honoring your practice. Exhale, let the hands drop to the lumbar spine and extend the arms long. Rolling up into scared cat. Tuck your toes under and charge the backs of your legs as you lift up into your first down dog. Gazing back at the shin bones, making sure that the feet are parallel to your hips. Taking a half a step in so that your heels can touch the earth. Drawing the shoulders away from your ears, spreading all 10 fingers wide. Let your tailbone be an extension of your spine. And we'll go ahead and bring the big toes to touch at the back of the mat as we warm up the legs. Inhale, lifting your left leg up. Exhale, drawing your right heel down towards the earth. Three-legged dog will bend through the knee, gazing underneath the left arm. Exhale, straighten the leg and lower. Inhale, right leg lifts. Opening up on that right hip, bending through your knee. Pressing the mat away with your hands.
Flexing through the right foot, circling through the ankle. Straightening your leg now and lower down to the mat. Looking forward between your thumbs. Walking, jumping, stepping, leaping to the front of your mat as you come into your first standing forward bend. We'll hold on to opposite elbow creases here. And let yourself dangle and be heavy. Taking the weight out of your heels, slight micro bend to the knees if you'd like to rest your torso on your thighs. Shaking your head forward and back, left and right. We'll begin to uncurl our spine as we roll up into standing mountain. We're rolling out vertebrae by vertebrae, letting your head be the last thing to lift in your practice. Inhaling as you welcome in the day. Opening the heart as you lift your chest. Exhale as you fold forward, swan dive over your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, rising up to the fingertips, looking forward in time and space. Exhale as you fold into yourself. Rolling up by vertebrae, coming back into standing mountain. We're going to do this 3 times. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, swan dive, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the front of the mat, shins or blocks. I want you to feel yourself inner spiral your thighs behind you. Like imagine as though we're holding a block between our thighs. As we inhale, we send ourselves love. As we exhale, we connect to that unconditional self-love, our loving kindness to self. Chin towards your chest. Maybe wrapping your hands around your shins or towards your ankles. Maybe you hold on behind your knees. Choosing the options that are right for your practice. Inhale, we'll begin to uncurl the spine. Arms reach. And we'll come into another spinal posture. Left arm will drop. Option to turn the corner edges of our mouth upwards as we reach the right arm high. Exhale, draw the right arm over our ear for standing half moon. We're still stretching the intercostals here, gazing down at the left foot or fingers. If we're doing this lying down, this would be like bananasana. We would be kind of laying on our mat this way. A lot of people like to bring the left hand into the posture when they're standing, pressing the heels of the hands away from us. Inhale as we come up, and exhale over to the other side. So we'll start here with the hands clasped. We'll press down through that right foot. And notice for yourself, can you drop the right arm down? How does that feel? Reaching out on that diagonal. Really stretching through that left side body as we gaze down at the right leg. Inhale as the right arm comes up. We're going to bring some gentle movement into the body with some gentle sun salutations. Exhale, fold. Planting your hands on either side of the front feet. We'll bend through the knees. And we're going to step back into plank pose. As we step back into plank pose, we'll drop down to the knees. Sitting back towards the heels. Rounding through the spine. Rolling into scared cat. Separate the knees. Arch the spine, lift the head. Sway back pose. Tucking the toes under, sinking back towards the heels. Begin to press the shin bones off the mat. Lifting your hips. Pressing your hips back and up, down dog. Bringing the big toes to touch at the back of your mat. Centering yourself on your mat. Right leg is going to lift. And we're going to step forward in between the wrists. So if your foot doesn't make it, Grab your ankle and draw it to the center, coming into that runner's lunge. Let's drop down to the back left knee. Arms will reach up. Palms are going to press. Coming into a kneeling lunge. Opening the heart towards the sky. Pressing down and out into the right foot. Exhale, let's bring the hands on either side of the front foot. Coming up into half gate or kneeling gate. Here we're going to come up to the left knee, tuck the tailbone under, bend into the right knee. And we're going to go ahead and bring the right arm to the right thigh and begin to lift the left. Opening the heart here. We're going to exhale, drop the left hand down to the thigh. Inhale, bring the right arm up. That left hand can hold the back of the knee or it can come all the way down to the mat. The left leg is adjacent to the long left edge of your mat. Exhale now, right hand down to the inside of the right foot. Honoring your body and your practice here. Exhale, we'll close the pose. And we'll bring ourselves into a high runner's lunge. Stepping back into down dog. Lifting your hips. Inhale forward into plank. Drop down to your knees. Sink back towards your heels. Rounding through your spine as you come up into a scared cat. Arching your spine and lifting your head. Breathing into the body. And one more time, scared cat. Arching your spine and lifting your head. We're going to do this on the opposite side, so we can come up to our knees. And this time, I think we're going to bring the left leg in front. And we're going to pivot that back right leg so that it is also bending. Bending into the knee. We're going to come into a kneeling variation here. So bringing your left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm is going to come over your ear. Stretching through that right side body. Opening the belly. Inhaling. Exhaling now, right arm is going to drop down to right thigh, left arm is going to reach up. Right hand come all the way down behind your right knee if you'd like. We'll come into our kneeling side angle pose. Left hand is going to come all the way down to the inside of the left leg. Maybe it comes down to a block. Exhale, we'll close the pose. Right hand comes down to meet the left hand. Pivoting that back right foot so that you're in a kneeling lunge. And we'll step back into downward dog. Tuck your right toes under. Lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Walking out your dog here. And slowly beginning to walk, jump or step to the front of your mat as you come into your standing forward bend. Rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, engage your knees and your quads, tuck your tailbone under. Lifting the heart, arms will reach. Exhale, let the hands come alongside your hips. Circle the shoulders up, back, and down your spine. Inhaling as the arms reach up. Exhale, let's draw the left knee into the chest. So we're coming into wind eliminating pose. So if you have a wall or need a wall, you can grab a wall, right? It's a very nice prop. Left knee is coming into the chest. Flexing through the left foot. We're balancing on the right. Circling through that left ankle. And we're going to open the left leg out to the side. Reaching the right arm parallel to
the shoulder. Keeping that straight leg strong by engaging from the ankle bone all the way up to the glute. Exhale, we're going to take this into a tree. So the left arch is going to come to the left ankle, below the knee, or above the knee, based on your practice needs and inclinations. You want that left knee to be out though, maybe 90 degrees. Inhale as the arms reach up. Exhale, let the hands come alongside your hips. Drawing the knee back into the chest. Now we're gonna step back into crescent lunge. So as that left knee is in your chest, releasing it, step back with that left leg, arms parallel to your ears. Sinking into your right knee so that it's at a 90-degree bend. We're gonna keep the back heel lifted, but straight and strong, opening the heart. Crescent warrior is very similar to warrior one. This balances us at the root of our body. Exhale, let your hands clasp behind your back, lifting your heart. Breathing here. Exhale, relax the hands. Using your balance now, we're going to step back together at the front of the mat. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, draw your hands down into the heart center. So we're working on our balance today. We're going to go ahead and bring the right knee into the chest. So we're creating that lasso or jump rope. My arms are not long enough for them to be a jump rope, but the right knee comes into the chest. This is called wind eliminating pose. That left leg is strong and straight. We can use a wall if we need. Now we're going to guide the right knee on the exhale over to the right side, and the left arm is going to reach out. Flexing through that right foot, circling the ankles, keeping the left fingertips spread wide. Reach the right arm now out to the side, and use the strength of the left leg to come into tree pose. Keep reaching your hands in opposition, tuck your tailbone under. Right knee bends out at 90 degrees. One more breath. Exhale the knee back into the midline. Stepping back into crescent warrior. So the right knee is in the chest. We release, bending gently through the left knee, planting that right leg behind us. The back heel is lifted, arms come parallel to our ears. If you notice popping or cracking, that's good. You're starting to bring more lubrication to your joints. Exhale, let the hands come behind your back if you'd like. And you can clasp your palms at your lumbar spine. Some people can hold on to their opposite elbows. Some people can draw their hands up the middle of their back in reverse prayer. I like to drop the knuckles back towards the right heel so I can lift my heart, lengthening through the back of my neck, drawing those shoulder blades together, feeling strong and straight. Left hip draws back as the right hip slightly moves forward to balance our hips. Exhale now. We'll release, arms reach up. Let's bring the hands into the heart center, bending into the left knee, drawing the right leg to meet the left. Honoring your body and your practice. Inhale as the arms circle, sweep forward and up. Exhale, draw the hands into the heart. Starting to notice how you feel. We're going to turn wide on our mat, pointing our toes towards the pointy edges. Inhale as we begin to reach the arms out into a T. And we'll inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bend from the knees as we come down into a squat. Imagine as though you're grabbing sunflowers and moonflowers, putting them in a nice bouquet, and offering them up towards the sky. Exhale, bending through the knees. Inhale, reaching up. Now squeeze through the kneecaps and quads as you straighten the legs. Exhale, fold. Inhaling as we reach, connecting to our highest self. Exhale, forward and fold. See if you can get deep into your hips as you reach back and up. Exhale, forward bend from the hips. You're following your own breath. We're going to do this 3 or 4 more times. Listening to your body as you exhale and fold. Inhale, bending the knees, sitting back, straightening the legs. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, back and down. One more time. Let's sit. Goddess pose, bending at the elbows. Reaching the knees over the ankles. Lengthening through the back of your neck. You can be a cactus. We'll straighten through the legs. Letting the blade edges of the feet now be parallel with the short edges of the mat. Fold from your hips, reaching for your shins, your ankles. And maybe if you're flexible here, you can bring your hands underneath your shoulders, folding forward and down. Taking 2 or 3 breaths as you release the compression of your lumbar spine. Some of you might enjoy reaching your hands back through your legs, reaching for the back of your mat, and bringing the weight a little bit more distributed into the toe ball mounds of your feet so that you can fold forward. Let's use the bladed edges of our feet to press the mat away so we're getting a little bit more of an isometric stretch. Inhale, we'll bring the hands underneath our shoulders, heel toe the feet in towards the middle. Rolling up one last time, inhaling. Exhaling now. We'll cross at the ankles and sit back, down in between the heels. So we're coming back into cross-legged seated posture. We're sitting tall in our spine. We're going to go ahead and extend the legs out in front for Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. Let's bring the big toes, the ankle bones to touch. Reach back for any flesh that's kind of caught underneath your body so that you can sit on your sitting bones. Find that straight spine. And we'll inhale the arms up and over the body. Exhale as we press the heels down into the earth, folding forward. Keeping the feet flexed, we can reach for the ankles, the shin bones. Just let your hands fall wherever they do naturally. The nice thing about seated forward bend, it doesn't matter how far you go in regards to touching your toes. It just matters that if you sink into the pose as relaxed as you possibly can, your body will show you compassion and eventually release you all the way down to the mat or floor. If there is pulling underneath your glutes or you feel like sciatic type pain or piriformis pain, you can pad your backside with a pillow, a bolster, maybe sitting on top of a couple of blocks. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, incorporating a little bit of yin into the practice. Yin for us is longer holds, right? Bringing ourselves back to that original intention, dedicating our practice to the things that are important in our life, the things that we're grateful for. It helps us find a connection to the highest or our highest self. When we think about why we yoga, right? That's always the thing. Why do you do yoga? I don't think that it's about us learning to necessarily touch our toes. I think why we yoga is what we learn on the way down. Breathing into your body. We'll inhale, lifting ourselves back and up. And we're gonna plant the hands behind our seat, drawing the shoulder blades together. We're gonna come up into reverse tabletop or inclined plank. So be sure that those fingertips are really pointing toward your glutes as you lift your hips. You can point your toes away, or you can bring the knees, the feet directly underneath your knees. Choosing the option in your practice that's right for you. Exhale as you tuck your chin towards your chest wherever you are, lowering your hips down to the earth. We're going to bring the feet into a bound angle pose as you sit tall on your spine. Heels can come as close to the pelvic floor as possible. If you feel tightness or pulling in your adductors or your hips, move your heels away and fold forward and down. Use the elbows to press the knees away. Letting your hands fall wherever they might. We'll take 3 or 4 breaths here. When you release your body into forward bends, you can say thank you to your body. Thank you, body, for backing me. Letting go, my mind whispers. It's okay to release. Letting go, my body says thank you back at me. Letting go, my mind settles and finds stillness so sweet. Letting go, I feel connected to my body. I welcome in my peace. This is the feeling of centeredness, groundedness, and ease. This becomes available anytime I please. I choose to let go in this moment to find my release. Inhale, lift your torso, draw your knees together. Scooting forward onto your mat, we'll come all the way down to our spine. Let's bring the heels close to the glutes. Tucking your tailbone under, bending at the elbows, hugging those elbows really close to the ribs. We'll lift the hips up into bridge pose. Inhale, release the backs of the hands behind you, letting those hips lift even higher. Exhale, let the hands come alongside your body and bend into the elbows, lifting the hips even higher. Exhale, press your palms down into the mat alongside your hips. Inhale, turn your palms up. Release the backs of your wrists. Exhale as you bend your elbows, hugging the body tight, lifting the hips higher. Exhale the arms out to the sides, lowering the hips down to the earth. We'll shift the hips to the right. Knees fall gently to the left, opening your heart up towards the sky. Using the blade edge of your left foot, we'll press the right knee into the earth.
Stretching the top of your right thigh. Exhaling as you release. We'll bring ourselves back to the midline, shifting the hips to the left as we drop the knees to the right. Opening the arms now in goalpost arms, gazing over your left shoulder. We'll bring the blade edge of the right foot on top of the left thigh, drawing the left knee down towards the earth. Feeling heavy as your body comes into stillness, connected within your twist. Inhaling and exhaling, and come back to the midline. So wherever you are in your practice, any final stretches that might feel good, you can draw your knees into your chest and do knee circles, relaxing the lower back. If you'd like to assume happy baby, you can hold on to the outside edges of your feet, noticing how your body feels as you release. Allowing yourself now to come all the way down to your spine. Letting go. We relax the skin on our forehead. We'll let the arms come alongside the hips and feel the blade edges of our feet drift towards the sides of our mat. Letting the body sink heavily into the earth. Feeling your breath calm and release. We begin to relax the skin on our forehead, relaxing through the temples and the inner ears. Slowly allowing your lips to part and allowing your jaw to move from left to right and right to left. Tensing and relaxing all the muscles of your face. Relaxing through the sides and the back of your neck. You can let your head move from side to side if that feels good to have that movement in your body. As we move closer to stillness, looking to find the comforts that we enjoy within our own practice. We relax through the deepest caves of our heart and we send the breath down into the heart and chest and lungs. Relaxing through the navel center and pelvic floor. We send relaxing feelings and sensations powered by our breath down to our hips, glutes, and backs of the knees. Relaxing through the tops of your thighs, kneecaps, quads, shin bones, ankles, toes, and toe tips. Breathing in for peace and sending feelings of relaxation through your exhalation to your whole body. Acknowledging the meeting points between your whole body and the earth below you. Whole body sinking heavily into the earth. We'll take one final spinal breath in through the soles of our feet, letting it collect any debris, any tension or tightness, any fears or doubts or negativity. And as it travels up the front of the body in a circular motion,
We'll let that breath crest at the crown of our head, washing down the base of our spine, draining out the soles of our feet and beyond. Spending some time here as you drift away, fully non-attached, relaxed, and still. Allowing yourself now to come back to your body and where you are in the room. Starting to bring movement into your legs, wrists, arms. Maybe drawing the arms overhead and extending through the feet, circling through the wrists and the ankles. Full body stretch. Letting yourself roll over to one side, stacking your limbs and creating a pillow with your hands or your top or bottom arm. Pressing your top hand down into the earth as you begin to grow roots, coming back up, sitting tall on your spine, returning to the beginning. We'll bring our hands to our heart when we arrive, connecting the thumbs to the sternum. Fingers are spreading wide. Bowing to yourself and your practice. Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. Namaste.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. I was so glad to practice with you today. It was nice to see everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.